Today we want to talk about 6 crops that we will always grow for self-sufficiency. These crops, they're easy to grow, it's easy to save seeds, they have a long storage time, and they have a lot of nutrients that we could use for ourselves and for our animals. So really it's dual purpose. We're working on self-sufficiency for ourselves, but also how to pull in less food from other places for our animals. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Don't attack the turkeys. You're so good. You're so good. Hey guys, welcome to 4 Kids on a Farm. My name is Aaron. If you're new here, thank you for being here. If you're a subscriber, yeah, we have a new dog. Her name is Sunny, and we love her to death. She is already one of our smartest dogs, and our dogs, Daisy and Lily, are very, very smart. So she's just, look at that, she's just waiting for me to tell her something to do. She is a working dog in her brain. If there's a dog that has ADD, that's this dog. But she is so good, she's waiting just for me. Oh, good girl. Fall is here, winter is on the horizon. We're in zone 9B. And a lot of our plants are still going strong. We live in a zone where we have a long growing season. Right now we're reflecting and evaluating how this year went and what we're going to plant for next summer. You know, we had a lot of crops that did well, a few that didn't, and we are really interested in these foods that create a lot of calories, are easy to grow, and are easy to grow year to year because we can save the seeds and get the same plant next year. A couple of these are straight out of the Native Americans or First Peoples Handbook. I'm talking sunflower, pumpkins, and corn, of course corn. So first stop is we're gonna talk about the sunflower. If you've been part of our channel, you know that we're in love with sunflowers, and sunflowers have so many benefits. One of them, probably the most popular, is the seeds that they give. They're edible. Oh, mosquitoes are coming out, shoots. They're easy to store. You can harvest the seeds, feed them to your animals if you want, and you have the ability to. You can get oil from the sunflower seeds. Here on the farm we use lard, butter, and pretty soon we'll use tallow from our cow as our cooking oils. That's one thing we don't know how to do, is how to turn a sunflower seed into cooking oil, but it's a great source of food for you and your animals. We'll harvest these heads, we'll hang them upside down in a cool, dry place that's got circulation, and these will store. You just see all those seeds underneath there that luckily none of the birds have got to yet. So it's time to get these. They're starting to turn colors on the back there, which means they're done getting nutrients to the seeds. This is like the most satisfying thing on the planet, you guys. So one more thing we want to try. Apparently the stalk of the sunflower can be turned into a cooking flour, like talking about like wheat flour or corn flour that you can make things with. I have no idea how legit that is, but I want to try it up in one of these coming videos. So if that's interesting to you, let us know. Comment, smash the like button, and we'll work on that as one of our next projects. Look at who got into the garden. Sunny. And Alora, what you got there? Little pumpkin. That is a perfect segment into the next veggie that we grow for self-sufficiency. Can't eat that one though. You can hear the sheep out in the distance. It is feeding time and the kids are going to do their chores. Self-sufficiency veggie number 2 is going to be the pumpkin, and this year we grew this huge pumpkin patch. We had a bunch of seeds left over from last year, and we had this whole area that we raised our pigs in, and we wanted to use it for food. I mean, with the pandemic and stuff like that, we want to use every inch that we can manage to raise food for ourselves. And pumpkins are one of those ones that are highly nutritious, easy to store, delicious, just full with nutrients. And I mean, anybody who has gutted a pumpkin knows that the seeds are easy to save as well. So in our garden this year, we have a couple Italian varieties. We grew all eating pumpkins, except you see maybe a couple of the giant pumpkins over here that we won't eat, but we'll feed our animals and they probably won't care. We have a lot of these Cinderella type pumpkins right here, and we have mosquitoes. I'm gonna have so many mosquito bites, you guys. Let's see, here we go. Here's one of the Cinderella types. Goes by a lot of different names, but these are phenomenal eating pumpkins. Another one we really love is the Jardale. We got a hybrid this year from Haas Tools called Blue Bayou, and it is a hybrid, so saving seeds from that will not grow the same plant next year. But one thing we want is plants that we don't have to spray. And so having a hybrid like Blue Bayou that's got like mildew resistance, and it's got a really good disease package and is a fantastic storage and eating pumpkins, we feel comfortable adding that into our garden along with other pumpkins that we can take the seeds from and use those to plant next year. So another variety that we really love and is a really good eating pumpkin is the Long Island cheese pumpkin right here. I mean, these are beautiful pumpkins, and you could take this up, dice it up, cook it, put it in curries. You can roast it, you can mash it, put butter and salt on it, turn it into pumpkin pies. It really is a versatile ingredient. I mean, I prefer pumpkins to sweet potatoes. Don't kill me. But these are just fantastic, and these will store for months and months. You put them in a dry place, you get all the debris off of them. Keep it cool, you know, make sure there's air circulation. This will last a long time. You'll have these until next spring, which is one reason that we like pumpkins. Is like they don't can very well. You can freeze pumpkin, but just having these in a whole form in a good place, the flavor increases. It gets better and better, and it maintains its nutritional value. And then when you eat it, you can save the seeds, and the seeds have nutritional value too. You guys, anytime you eat a pumpkin, you should save the seeds and roast them for sure. Not only are they delicious, but they're nutritious. And not only are they delicious and nutritious, but they're a natural dewormer for your ruminant animals. So saving those seeds and giving them to your goats, sheep, cows. There's a plane flying right over me. So saving those seeds for yourself for next year, save a bunch of them. The rest feed to your animals. So many good nutrients in there. I'm gonna line them up right here because I'm gonna forget their names. But it's so cool, the idea that the nutrients in your soil can provide you food and your animals food, and then your animals will provide nutrients for your soil, and that's the cycle that we love. And we're trying to have the least amount of inputs on our farm and try to reduce our, you know, quote unquote footprint by having our grocery list get smaller and smaller and raising our own healthy food here on our farm. Having said that, so it's not a pumpkin. I want to show you one of our favorite squashes that we grew this year, and we're going to recommend this. And every seed that we recommend, we'll put links below. Most of them are from Haas Tools. We love Haas Tools. Clicking that link and using our code will get you a free packet of seeds. But beyond that, just use Haas Tool seeds. They're so fantastic. We can't say enough good things about Haas Tools. It's really hard for me not to sound like a little fanboy. Number one favorite variety of squash that we grew this year, it's the Small Wonder squash from Haas Tools. They're these perfectly sized spaghetti squash, and it's delicious. They are small enough for individual use. You know, the ones you get, the huge ones that nobody eats all that, but these ones store really, really well. You just cut them in half, roast them, fill it with spaghetti sauce. They're these little cute little spaghetti sauce bowls. We'll cut 4 of these in half, and that's our meal with a little bit left over. But we just love the storability and the size of these. These are the right size of spaghetti squash. Okay, how about veggie number 3, corn. It's just so nutritious, it's easy to store. You dry this out, and this is grain corn. This is not like a corn on the cob. Got a couple of these guys here. This is a Jimmy Red, and this is gonna be like, this is the best grit meal corn that you can get. It's legendary. Also to make alcohols, which we don't use it for. All the knobby seeds you can just dry out, you can save for next year, and like 1 cob of corn will give you almost all the seeds you need for a row like this. Isn't that amazing? Not only are the seeds nutritious, can be turned into meal, but they can be fed to all of your animals, as well as the stalks. So when we harvest the corn, these stalks will be fed to our cows. They're delicious, according to them. They'll just eat every little bit of this. None of it has to go to waste. Every person on the planet eats corn. It's just one of those staples that we will grow every single year. Check this out. It looks like pomegranates, doesn't it? It's just deep, deep red. I'm gonna eat these right now. It's sweet. There's lots of sugar in there. It's gonna make a delicious cornbread and grits. I'm so excited about that. We're down 3 of our recommendations of things that you should grow every year. Gonna finish the next ones in the morning. All right, good morning, you guys. It's the next day. I was running out of sunlight. So we're going out to the garden today. We're going over the 4th staple that we grow every year for self-sufficiency. This next one we don't have any left. We didn't grow enough of, but there's some volunteer plants out here that we just wanted to show you, because we accidentally left some potatoes in the ground. So I'm kind of excited because we have never grown fall potatoes before. But it looks like if we have a little bit of good weather for the next few weeks, we'll have a handful of potatoes. Now, this area is incredibly weedy, so I'm not really showing off anything cool here. I mean, what's so great about potatoes? They're delicious, they last a long time, they're pretty easy to grow, and whatever you harvest, you know, the seeds are the potatoes. So if you have any leftover potatoes, you can plant those for the next season, and they last in storage. As long as you put them in a cool, dry place, they'll last for a long time. And so, you know, there's a theme here, right? You know, we want delicious, nutritious food that will store really, really well, and that can be potentially be used to grow food for the next year. Super satisfying to grow. Put it on your list. The next 2 staples are flavor machines of the kitchen. And so actually one of them I'm going to split into 2. So you get a bonus one, I hope. But number 5 staple on our homestead is the tomato. We're on zone 9B, and our tomatoes are getting like the second flush of flowers, and we're getting a lot of these little tiny little starts of tomatoes again, which is really exciting because we've canned more than we've ever canned this year. Tomatoes can exceptionally well, but if canning scares you, tomatoes can be frozen. They freeze really, really well. Tomatoes can be dried. When you're looking for tomato plants, make sure you're getting ones that are good for your area. Haas Tools has a lot of great varieties that are disease resistant. This is the Bella Rosa variety, and then over here we have the Hasenator tomatoes. We're hoping once again for a few more weeks of no frost so that we can get a second harvest off of these tomatoes. There's so many different variety of tomatoes. Finding one that's right for you shouldn't be too hard. But all right, guys, I am gonna share with you our last two. So yeah, to me, these are kind of the same. There's not a lot of dishes that I would not like without onions and garlic. And hopefully, as we've been going through this, you've been thinking about things that you need as staples in your pantry, in your refrigerator. You know, there's plenty that we probably missed. And so if we've missed some that you think are super important, put those in the comments, because there's, you know, 20, 30 things that we love to grow. You know, these are all summer crops that we're talking about that you would grow in the longer days of the year, the warmer days of the year. And maybe we'll do a video about ones that that we grow in the winter here in Zone 9B. So, you know, this one almost was on my list. Jalapenos. Yeah, so maybe we'll have to do like 5 more crops you can grow for self-sufficiency. Finally, the boys are feeding the sheep, so they'll be quiet. Going back in here in the shop where we dry and hang our onions and garlics. And onion and garlic are one of those things, like I can't think of dishes that I don't put it in, except like desserts. We love growing our own garlic and onions. There is nothing that will taste better than the stuff that you grow on your own farm. Garlic stores well just like this, but also you can dry it and you can grind it up and turn it into garlic powder. It has a phenomenal shelf life when you dry it out. But garlic is really cool because the cloves that you break up to put in your food, get one of these guys, that will turn into another garlic plant and give you a garlic clove. So planting this in the ground, just like this, this next few days, when we put this in the ground, it will give us garlic for next year. And garlic is one of those cool plants that give you garlic twice. It'll give you garlic in the bulb. And then it also grows a stem called a scape that would eventually be the garlic's flower that you could cut off and use in your dishes at home, just like you would in any garlic dish, but it's kind of like a green onion with garlic flavor. It's really, really delicious. Chefs love it. We've also diced that up and dried it up so we can put it in soups later, and it is just a phenomenal way to get 2 uses out of your garlic. Enough about garlic. How about the onion? And this is a tiny onion, but we put them all up in these racks right here, if you could see among this mess, and they stay dry. And we have had these dried and stored for 5 months already. It is almost November, and we harvest these the end of April. And these last really, really, really long. Onion also has multiple uses too. When the onion is still in the ground and the top is green, you can harvest that and use it just like green onions. You use the onion itself, and then if you cut off the bottom, which we all do in the end, and you plant that, that will also grow you green onions as well. Okay, recap. Onions, garlic, see if I can remember them all. Potatoes, tomatoes, corn, squashes, and sunflowers. All are staples that we will grow every year. They have so much value to us on our farm here, for us, for nutrients, for the storage potential, for the planting potential next year, and as food for our animals. As we've been homesteading over the last few years, these are things that we've kind of narrowed down that we'll grow every year because they're easy to store, easy to grow, and they fit into what we want to feed ourselves and our animals. So once again, comment below if you feel that we've missed some of your favorite things to grow and store. I mean, there's probably another 20 more that we could mention. I just wanted to keep this kind of brief. You guys, thank you for being part of our homesteading channel. We love this homesteading life. The beauty of homesteading is that everybody does it different, but it's right. And do what's right for you. If you're thinking of vegetables that maybe we forgot or we should include in this, put those in the comments below. We love hearing what you guys think. Once again, thank you guys for being part of our channel. Like and subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.